If you've driven to the Kingston ferry, you've driven right past this place. There is a turnoff on Hansville Road heading north that almost nobody takes unless they already know what is up there. And what is up there is one of the most underrated waterfront communities in all of Western Washington. It is called Hansville, and it sits right at the very northern tip of the Kitsap Peninsula, where Puget Sound on one side and Hood Canal on the other basically run out of land. And every single time I bring a buyer up here for the first time, I get the same reaction. Wait, how did I not know this was here? So in the next 20 or so minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what Hansville is, what the real estate actually costs in 2026, the commute reality from the end of the road, and the honest trade-offs before you decide if this is where you want to plant your flag. Here is what most relocation buyers do when they shop Kitsap. They look at Bainbridge, Paulsbo, Silverdale, maybe Kingston for the fast ferry. They draw a mental circle around the places with a downtown and they stop there. Hansville falls off the edge of that circle. It is unincorporated, no downtown strip, no stoplight. On a quick map, it looks like the road just ends in the trees, so people assume there is nothing worth the drive. But here's what they are missing. Hansville is not on the way to anywhere, and that is the point. Nobody accidentally drives through Hansville because it's the somewhere else. It is the destination at the end of the peninsula. You get salt water on two sides. The oldest lighthouse on Puget Sound, about 7 miles of connected nature preserve trails, a freshwater lake with a county park, and a Kingston ferry corridor that puts downtown Seattle closer than I-5 would ever let you believe. And the price per foot still sits well under Bainbridge. Hey, I'm James Bergstrom, broker owner of Paramount Real Estate Group right here in Kitsap County, and I work this market, and I am going to give you the honest version and not a highlight reel. Here's the plan. The geography, the outdoor and community infrastructure, the real estate and what you will pay in 2026, the commute and the connectivity and the honest caveats, and finally exactly who Hansville is perfect for and why the window matters. So if you want water, quiet, and Pacific Northwest character without a Bainbridge Island price, stick with me. Hansville is an unincorporated community at the northern end of the Kitsap Peninsula, about 16 miles northeast of Paulsbo, and the geography here is unusual. You're at a point, Puget Sound specifically. Admiralty Inlet is on the east side where the ferries and the big ships pass. The entrance to Hood Canal is on the west side, so this little tip of land has salt water on two sides, and the northern horizon opens straight towards the shipping lanes and Whidbey Island. Two shorelines is not trivia. It is a choice you get to make at the lot level. The sound side gives you sunrise water, the big ship parade, and the famous salmon fishing off Point No Point. The Hood Canal side in this northwest corner near Skunk Bay gives you sunset water and Olympic Mountain views on a clear evening. And because Hansville sits in the Olympic rain shadow, you genuinely get less rain here than communities just south and a lot less than Seattle. That is one of the quiet reasons people who move up here stop missing the city weather almost immediately. Quick tip, if you've been pricing Bainbridge or Gig Harbor waterfront, run a parallel Hansville search before you decide. You will frequently find comparable waterfront footage at a meaningful lower number because Hansville does not carry a brand name premium. You are paying for the geography and not the reputation. The Pacific Northwest market prices the name before it prices the land, and Hansville has the geography without the name tax. So being at the end of the road is what kept it that way, and that is exactly the inefficiency a smart buyer wants to find. So the land is rare, but land is only half of it. What surprises people most is what is built around the water. So let me show that to you. For a community with no city government, Hansville has an outdoor and civic backbone that embarrasses a lot of bigger towns. 3 county parks are stitched together by the Hansville Greenway, about 7 miles of trails, plus a couple more miles of easements linking Puget Sound at Norwegian Point all the way across the Hood Canal side. It is run as a nature preserve and wildlife sanctuary maintained largely by volunteers. So picture your actual week. You can walk a forested trail from near your house down to a saltwater beach. Take the kids to fish a stocked freshwater lake at Buck Lake on Saturday and cast for salmon off the point on Sunday. Tour a lighthouse that has stood since 1879, the oldest on Puget Sound, all inside one small community at the end of the peninsula. And there is a real civic life here. The Greater Hansville Community Center and the local advisory council mean there is an actual calendar, events, classes, cleanups. This is not a subdivision a developer dropped in 5 years ago. It is a community with its own rhythm. Tip: if your outdoor access is a non-negotiable for your household, map the Greenway trailheads before you tour homes. Proximity to a trailhead or two, Buck Lake is a real durable value driver and it costs nothing to prioritize. Amenities like Greenway and a lighthouse park are not things you can add later. They are fixed, public, and protected, and when you buy here, you buy a share of infrastructure the market has not fully priced. All right, the lifestyle is real. Now the question everybody clicked for: what does it cost? So real quick, if you're seriously weighing to move to Kitsap or anywhere in Washington, I built a free Kitsap relocation guide. It walks you through the regions, the ferry corridors, the cost picture, and how to choose a community that fits your life. It is in the description below. No strings, grab it now because it gives you the context for everything I'm about to break down on price. Hansville's market is a niche inside a niche. Inventory is thin. The lots run larger and more varied than a typical subdivision, and the spread is wide. Modest beach cottages and interior wooded lots up to bluff front homes with panoramic Admiralty Inlet views up to the gated waterfront community of Driftwood Key with its own private marina and clubhouse. Let me give you the 2026 picture, and please verify these numbers when you watch because the market moves and the median sales price over the last 6 months has run around the mid 700s. Active listings have ranged roughly from the low 600s into the high 700s depending on the segment. Read what that is telling you. Hansville's median sits above the county median, and not because the houses are fancier. It is because you're buying water, view, and acreage, not a tract home. The entry tier tends to get you interior or water view homes, often on well and septic, but the 7-figure range is true bluff front and beachfront, the larger view parcels, and the premium gated addresses. Here's the strategic part. Days on market runs longer than the county average, and in a niche market, that is leverage, not weakness. The buyer pool is small because the community is specific. So if you are patient and pre-approved, you negotiate from a stronger position than you could ever in Silverdale or Paulsbo, where clean listings still move really fast. Slower absorption up here gives a serious buyer room to make a smart offer instead of getting swept into a bidding war. So here's a big tip. Waterfront here comes in two very different flavors. High Bank Bluff gives you the big view and the lower tidal exposure, but beach access means stairs or a tram. Low Bank gives you the walkout beach, but more exposure to tides, storms, and bulkhead rules. So decide which one fits your life before you tour, because the price and the maintenance are completely different. Within Kitsap, there is a clear spectrum. Bainbridge wins well over $1 million at the median. Gig Harbor carries its own premium. Hansville sits above the county median, but below those brand name markets, and you get more water and land for the dollar. That gap is the arbitrage window, and the only reason it's still open is the drive. So one honest note, most of Hansville is on private septic and either a community water system or a private well, not city sewer. This is not a red flag, it is a due diligence item. So budget for a septic system, a water test if it's a well, and in older homes, a check for any buried oil tank. So you can afford the lifestyle, but can you actually get out of here when you need to at the end of a peninsula? That is the real question. Hansville is remote and your commute starts with a drive, but the numbers are better than you would guess because the Kingston Ferry corridor is right there. The headline is the Kingston Fast Ferry. Kitsap Transit runs a passenger-only fast boat from Kingston to downtown Seattle's Pier 50 in about 39 minutes. Kingston is about a 15-minute drive from Hansville, so a hybrid worker can leave a waterfront home at the tip of the peninsula, drive 15 minutes, and be in downtown Seattle in under an hour without ever touching I-5. So if you need your car on the other side, the state ferry runs Kingston to Edmonds in about 21 minutes or so. I'm not going to re-explain the whole fast ferry schedule because I made a dedicated video on the Kingston fast ferry. Watch that if the commute is your make or break. The short version, well, it is built around weekday commuters, so it is fantastic for a 2 or 3 day in-office rhythm and thinner on nights and weekends. So plan around the schedule, do not fight it. Now, connectivity, because most Hansville buyers today work from home at least part of the week. Internet has improved, but it is property by property. And some homes have solid wired service and others lean on fixed wireless. So if a reliable connection is mission critical, verify the actual service at the actual address before you write an offer. I dig into that in my remote work in the woods video. Tip, if you commute, even occasionally, weight your search towards the Hansville to Kingston drive corridor. Shaving 5 minutes off that leg matters more to your daily life than almost any interior upgrade, and it protects resale to the next ferry commuter. The number one objection I hear is, isn't it too far from everything? Well, the honest answer, well, it is far from the big box retail and the hospital corridor, which is a real Silverdale or Paulsbo drive, but it is genuinely close to downtown Seattle by ferry. Deeply rural feel with real big city access, well, that is a combination rare anywhere in Puget Sound and almost unheard of at this price per square foot. So I have shown you the geography, the lifestyle, the price, and the commute. Now I owe you the other side. Every place has its trade-offs. Hansvilles are real, and they're mostly about being at the end of the road. I would rather you hear them now than discover them after you've fallen for a bluff front view, because the sights up there are really incredible. 1, no commercial core, no grocery on the corner. Routine errands are like a 15-minute drive to Kingston or maybe a 30-minute drive to Paulsbo, and a Silverdale run for big box or major medical is closer to 30 to 40 minutes depending on traffic. So 2, distance to major medical and EMS. The hospital corridor is in Silverdale and Bremerton. For most life, that is fine. But if proximity to advanced care is a hard requirement, factor that drive in honestly. 3, well, septic, and community water. City sewer does not reach most of Hansville. That's normal here, but adds inspection steps and maintenance to ownership. 4, weather, exposure on the water. A north-facing bluff at the tip of the peninsula catches wind and winter storms. That is part of the magic, and it's part of the maintenance too. Roofs and siding and trees take more of a beating than an inland lot. 5, thin inventory, often just a handful of active listings at a time. So if you must close in 30 days on a specific profile, this market may not hand it to you on your timeline. 6, ferry and road dependency. One main county road in and out, and your fast route to the city is a ferry on a fixed schedule. When the boat is down or the road is blocked, your options narrow, and that is the price of the tip. And the Pacific Northwest winter is real up here. The rain shadow helps, but the dark, it's the dark, the big dark. So if short gray winter days are hard on you, watch my Big Dark Survival Guide before you commit to a remote waterfront life. So going in clear-eyed is the whole point. The buyers who regret a place like Hansville bought on the view and never stress tested the logistics. The buyers who love it looked the trade-offs dead in the eye and decided they were worth it. My job is to hand you both columns, not to sell you a sunset. So if that list did not scare you off, good. Let me tell you exactly who Hansville is perfect for. After enough buyers, you learn this place has a very specific profile. If you match it, Hansville may be the single best fit for your situation in the whole entire county. If you are a retiree or a empty nester who wants water and quiet and a real community without big city noise or price, this is you. If you are a hybrid or remote professional who needs end-of-road privacy, plus a sub-hour ferry path to Seattle a few days a week, this is you too. If you are a boater or an angler, Point No Point salmon, 2 shorelines, and a marina access are calling your name. And if you want a destination second home with strong rental appeal, or you are simply a patient value buyer who wants more water and land per dollar than Bainbridge or Gig Harbor, Hansville totally fits. Here is the part I want you to sit on. The thing that has kept Hansville affordable, that is it at the end of the road, and most people drive past the turnoff, is also the thing that protects it. It's a destination at the tip of a peninsula that does not get a strip mall and 1,000 new tract homes overnight. That geography is finite, and that waterfront is finite. That greenway is protected. So when the remote work keeps pushing buyers further out and they finally turn down that turnoff and see what I just showed you, the demand has nowhere new to go. Finite supply plus rising discovery is exactly what moves a quiet market. The folks who bought North Kitsap waterfront a decade ago look brilliant today. So turn down the Hansville Road now while inventory is thin and the brand name premium has not landed, and you are setting up to tell a very similar story. And that is not a pitch. That is just how scarce, hard to reach waterfront behaves over time. So before I wrap, if you are seriously considering Washington and you want the full lay of the land, the regions, the ferry corridors, the real cost picture, and how to match a community to your life, my free Kitsap County Relocation Guide covers all of it. The link is in the description. No spam, just the information. Grab it while you are thinking about it, and then let's talk. Hansville is a waterfront community at the very tip of the Kitsap Peninsula that most buyers never find, not because it's hidden, but because it is a destination, not the drive though. You get salt water on 2 sides, the oldest lighthouse on Puget Sound in your backyard, and about 7 miles of protected trail linking the sound to Hood Canal, a freshwater lake with a county park, and a Kingston ferry corridor that puts you downtown Seattle in under an hour away without ever touching the freeway, and the real estate still prices the geography instead of a brand name. So if you came in thinking, I want real Pacific Northwest waterfront, but everything near Seattle is too bloody expensive or too crowded, Hansville just answers you. Some of you clicked thinking Hansville is a sleepy footnote at the end of a road. So if I did my job today, you are leaving with a completely different map in your head. And this is a place, it's real, it's the real deal, and it's still priced like a secret. So if you're ready for the next step, whether that is more research or actually starting a search up here, I have 2 things. The relocation guide, or second, if you want a real conversation about Hansville or North Kitsap, please reach out to me. I'd love to speak with you. My contact is in the description below. No pressure, just straight information. And if this helps, please hit subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where you're moving from, and send this to someone trying to figure out Washington. There is a lot more where this came from. I hope to see you on the next episode.